Hey there, this is Jean-Marc talking about Boost B2B Appointment Setting Guide. Book more sales calls. So let's face it, you want to achieve better B2B appointment setting results, but you don't want to work harder. Who does? It seems like you could benefit from using modern selling strategies to book more sales calls. In this guide, we'll cover how to do that. So let's talk about the basics. What is B2B appointment setting? Really, it's what it sounds like. We're setting up calls for our business, really. And if you're in the B2B business community, which I'm guessing you are since you're watching this, you are going to need to get these calls set up somehow. It's a struggle for a lot of folks, and actually, what makes it difficult for people to move along the sales process and honestly get them into that sales process in the first place. So, there are some important reasons why B2B appointment setting is really critical to all things B2B sales. It's going to be three things: understanding the needs and challenges of your future customer. So, really, it's a great time to see if this is indeed a challenge you can solve and can help with for this future customer. Next, it's a good way to see if you're a good fit together. There's nothing worse than a terrible customer. And if you can avoid that in the beginning, you'll be so much better off, so much happier to avoid that headache. And speaking of headaches, the last thing I'm saying it's good for is it's a good way to see if this is a headache you want to endure. We all have been in our businesses long enough to see where the challenges lie and what looks like a decent fit to where we can make some progress and what's going to be a terribly slow slog. Now, I know we all like money, but if you can see the headache coming ahead of time, why not avoid it? My recommendation is that you try to make it as easy as possible. Obviously, if you need the money, you need the money. But the thing is, try not to make your work a living hell. Easier said than done, right? Now, what are the most important things to focus on to be successful with B2B appointment setting? I'm saying it's sharing enough information. That means let's just get the person to the next step and finding the right person. Finding the right person is something you can easily do using LinkedIn lead generation. And we talk about that a bit later. But first, let's talk about how generally to schedule more appointments. So, we want to be honest about our intentions when we're trying to get appointments, especially if you're doing LinkedIn lead generation. There's nothing worse than a person that tries to pretend to be your friend only to sell you. So, go ahead and let's cut to the chase. Let's be honest about what we're looking for. If we're looking to expand our business, let's talk about the fact that we like to expand our business. Next is posting regularly to B2B social media. I've talked about it before. Social media is confusing at times, but it's a great way to stay in front of people, maybe even 20, 30, 40, 50 times. It's an easy way to keep your best customers in front of you while talking about something that you can help solve. Using video powered messaging, just like I'm doing here, communicating with video allows a lot of awesome things to happen. In fact, it allows people that are just browsing to convert 6 times more into paying customers. So, video, being able to personally communicate through this medium is a very powerful tool you can't underestimate. Leveraging LinkedIn connections. Something that a lot of people tell me about is they have 10,000 connections or 15,000 connections or 20,000 connections. But the problem is they aren't doing anything for their bottom line. They're not doing anything for the business. They're not helping their business forward. So one of the ways that you can focus on getting more appointments is by tapping into your LinkedIn connections. An easy way to do that is to use a soft pitch with people that you've been connected with for at least 4 months. What you do is you reach out to them and you say something like, hey, Hey, Jean-Marc here. I see we've been connected for at least for a while, and I've never gotten a chance to learn about what you do in XYZ industry. And I don't think I've ever told you about what I do in the marketing industry. Hey, would you be up for a quick call so we can learn more about each other? Let me know. And end it like that. Keep it very simple. It allows us to start getting these calls up. And these calls are these call to calls are actually very successful because we're dealing with people that are already somewhat familiar with us, people that we've been connected with for at least 4 months. Lastly, I also talk about taking the conversation to other channels. Important here. Not everyone uses LinkedIn. Some people uh, leave it to their last thought of the month, and then they just don't do anything with it. So that said, you want to be able to reach people in other contexts, reach them via email, be able to reach them if you want to contact them by phone. And really, this is our way of keeping in front of our best customers and continuing to share the story of what we can help and looking for ways to help. Now, when it comes to posting regularly to social media, it can be honestly kind of a pain. Who wants to do this all the time? But social media is a powerful tool that's often misunderstood. And when you see it work, you recognize it. Like when you see that you've been working on social media for a bit, posting regularly, and then someone out of the blue contacts you with an opportunity, which has happened for me. It can seem like, okay, a little bit odd, but you can start to see that the network effects of what you do every day on social media, that's one node connecting to one node that connects to another node. And then when you connect all these different nodes together, you get this huge network of people that are really your best cheerleaders, your best potential customers. So posting to social media is going to help you tap into the network. So here's some ways to do that. First, be the face of your business. Getting on video, we've talked about how it's a great way to share your story. You can also do podcasting, another great way. Tie in your content marketing and blog automatically. An easy way to continue to post social media is to use tools. For example, if you're on WordPress, there's a tool called Revive Old Posts I'd recommend, and you can share regular at a regular interval. You can share your posts from WordPress and just keep sharing them and keep sharing them. Excuse me, at the rate at which you like. If every hour, if every 8 hours, if every day, you can do that. A note of caution here, I don't recommend doing that with LinkedIn. I recommend using Twitter for that. Just the amount of posts allows your post to get hidden in all of those tweets. Use tools like Buffer to regularly schedule posts. Buffer is a great tool and you can use it free, pretty much. Using video powered messaging for B2B appointment setting. When you do that, there are really 4 steps to it. First, record a short webcam pitch in front of someone's profile. Next, edit the video to include your call to action. Third, copy the link for the video. And fourth, paste the link for the video in your social media message. And when we're doing these pitches, important to remember. Oh, wow, excuse me. It's important to remember we're dealing with people here. So, whenever possible, make it clear what's in it for them. So, one of my big tips here is to get clear about what you're asking for and why. In your pitch, you want to include things like what you're asking for, what's in it for them, why they should care, and what they should do next. Now, let's talk about leveraging your LinkedIn connections. When it comes to leveraging your LinkedIn connections, you want to use that message I told you about to get in front of people you've been connected with for at least 4 months. But also, you'll want to see if you can get them into your email eventually. And when you get them in your email, there's a tool called Write Inbox that I recommend for email marketing, for recurring emails, for follow ups, because you can always mark a specific email to be reminded later on. Anyhow, this has been Jean-Marc talking about B2B appointment setting guide, how you can book more sales calls, and I will talk to you later. Peace.